So apparently the thing to do for horror in the year 2017 is to completely retcon your franchise. Hello one, hello all, welcome to I Like It Reviews. Today we're covering Jigsaw. Jigsaw takes place 10 years after one of the Saw movies. They don't really specify, but if you're really focused on the timeline, you're in this movie for the wrong reason. A fresh set of victims are playing a new game, and we're kind of in a bit of a whodunit, and at the core it's still a movie of people who are trying to right their wrongs and not die in the process. A group effort type. Since seeing a movie like Exam, which came out after the first Saw, I feel like Exam did it better. I always want to compare things to that now. A rehash of sorts. If you've seen any of the first handful of Saws, you know what to expect here. Opens up right away with somebody starting a new game and us dealing with new players. So who would like it? Again, if you're a fan of the Saw series, you're pretty much, there's not much to wow you with. But if you're a fan of the first couple, they kind of go back to basics here and take you on a bit of a journey and try to retcon some of the franchise for better or worse. There are moments that you're gonna kind of scratch your head and say, well, wait a minute, what about this? Like, there's some timeline gray areas that I have yet to seriously think about, as I just left the theater. But that really, if you're into horror franchises, as I am a major Friday the 13th fan, you kind of know that timelines and continuity get really blurred. So if you're a fan of the series and you're kind of excited, you can know that there's far worse in the series. Yeah. And if you're looking for something horrific and gruesome this Halloween season and you have already seen it, then by all means, it's rated R. It's rated R. It's pretty gory. There's that. Did I like it? It's kind of funny. I went on a couple of journeys here. Without spoiling it, there's a point somewhere at the beginning of the third act where I said, just go fuck yourself. How is this possible? And then they Saw won't it. And I won't lie, it's quite all right as far as against all the other Saw movies. I would think I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen most of them, but you know, it's nothing's gonna beat the first one. But they do a decent enough, for horror franchise standards, they do a decent enough job of covering their tracks and making it sort of make sense, because Jigsaw's been dead for 10 years, but his voice is still around, and they do a really decent job. And perhaps it's just the lack of not seeing this franchise for a while speaking, but yeah, no, it's certainly serviceable. I think the last time I really saw a Saw, I Seesaw, and said, yeah, I'm okay with this. The last time I think was maybe the fourth one. So it's been a while, but yeah, no, Jigsaw is up there. I'll watch it again, and even if only just to do the math and be like, well, does this actually make sense? But yeah, it's you'll probably see my ranking somewhere here. You could do worse this Halloween season, I guess. Cult of Chucky's a bit of a miss for me. Leatherface, from what I'm reading, isn't good, but I have not seen that. So I guess you could do worse this Halloween season if you want to do a throwback and watch a tried and true franchise. Cult of Chucky is a bit of a miss as far as I'm concerned. Jigsaw, not bad at all, if I'm being blunt, and if I'm just factoring in the horror franchise. Listen, it's not going to win any awards, but it's a decent 2 hours. It's vintage Saw October release, and you could do far worse in the series, I'll say that much. So that's it. Eventually I will have a environment to record from, but until then, I apologize for the honking in the garage that I'm in. If you saw it, do me a favor, comment down below, let me know what you thought, because I'm curious, because I just don't know. And have a horn.